Hello class, let us study a new lesson in science that is about the weight, volume and density. Usually when you go to a provision shop, you buy different things according to their weight. It may be 1 kg of potato or 1 kg of rice or 1 liter of milk, isn't it? So let us study what is weight, volume and density. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to explain the relationship between weight, volume and density. So you will be able to calculate if an object will float in water or sink in water and why so. So you will be studying about Archimedes principle and you will also understand why a ship made of iron floats in water. Weight, volume and density. So we have two methods in order to measure the amount of any material. That is by its volume and by its weight. So as I said earlier, when you buy the milk or petrol, you measure them in volume, that is in liters. When you buy rice and potato, you measure their weight in kilograms, that is kgs, isn't it? So we measure according to the weight of the substances, how heavy they are, and that is their weight. Then what is the relation between volume and weight of a substance? When the volume of the substance increases, its weight also increases. If the weight is more, then the volume will be greater. If at all you buy the same weight of cotton and rice, so which one will have greater volume? Of course, the cotton wool will have greater volume because cotton wool is lighter than the rice. So its volume will be more. So we have to understand that different materials will have different volumes if they have the same weight also. See here, 1 kg of rice is taken and 1 kg of cotton wool is taken. Even then, the volume of cotton wool is greater than 1 kg of rice. If we take equal volumes of rice and cotton wool, which one will be heavier? Obviously, the rice will be heavier, isn't it? According to the volume of the substances, if we compare their volume, if we take equal volumes of rice and cotton wool, of course, rice will be heavier. So, equal volumes of different materials will have different weights. Here we have taken 1 kg of rice and 1 kg of cotton wool. But if we see, we can see that the cotton wool, the volume of cotton wool is greater than rice. But when we take equal volumes of rice and cotton wool, which one will be heavier? Of course, rice will be heavier. The weight also will be heavier. And we must understand that when we take equal volumes of different materials, it will have different weights. To compare the weight of same volume of different materials, we find their density. In order to compare the weight of same volume of different materials, we have to find their densities. Densities means how closely the molecules in a substance are packed. You all know that all the substances have small particles in them. It may be solids or it may be liquids or it may be gases. So density will say us how closely the particles or the molecules in a material are packed. So what is density? Density is defined as the weight of unit volume of a substance, or density is equal to weight by volume. So the greater density of a substance, the heavier it feels as its molecules are packed more closely. If the density is greater, then the molecules will be packed very closely. So in case of rice and cotton wool, the rice will have greater density because the molecules in rice will be packed very closely as compared to cotton wool. Floating and sinking. You might have seen many materials. So many materials will float in water and most of the materials will sink in water. So how is that possible? You might have seen a log of wood. It floats in water. If you take a small stone, it will sink inside the water. It drowns down, isn't it? It goes down inside the water. So size does not matter here. Size of the stone as compared to the wood is much smaller. So size of any substance will not be a matter, or size or weight of the object will not decide that it has to float or sink in liquids. It is decided by the density. If the object is denser than water, it will sink in water, and if it is less denser than water, it will float in water or any liquid. The density of water is 1 kg per liter. This means 1 liter of water weighs 1 kg. So what is the density of water? The density of water is 1 kg per liter. If you take 1 liter of water, its density is 1 kg. So what does it mean? It means that 1 liter of water will weigh up to 1 kg is equal to 1 liter of water is equal to 1 kg. The density of woods, cotton, wool and wax are less than 1 kg per liter. So only all these substances will float in water. Whereas if you compare the densities of aluminium or iron or any other metal, it will be greater than 1 kg per liter. So all these substances will sink in water. Let us study about Archimedes' principle. Archimedes was a Greek scientist who studied a phenomenon that happens in water. And the phenomenon was proved, and the phenomenon was named after him only. That is Archimedes' principle. What is it? Let us study now. You all know that when you take a piece of iron, it will sink. Isn't it, children? Whereas if you take a piece of wood, it will float in water. You have an example to do here. So you are going to take a piece of wood and you have to immerse the piece of wood in a bucket of water. What will happen to the wood? Of course, it floats. Isn't it? The piece of wood will float. So the next moment what you have to do is you have to put your hand on the wood and you have to push the wood inside the bucket of water. So when you do that, you can experience something happening to your hand and the wood. Of course, a force will be there which acts in opposite direction to your action. So the wood will be pushed forward or above. As you push it down, some force is there to push the wood upwards. That force is known as the upthrust or buoyant force. So one more example you have. If you take a brick in your hand, you will get its weight, isn't it? So you are taking the brick and you are immersing it in a bucket containing water. Hold the brick inside the water for few minutes. After few minutes, you feel that the brick is very lighter. Don't you think so? Yes. Do it at home and you will have your experience. So, when you put the brick inside the water, you can see that the level of water in the bucket also goes up. The level of water rises in the bucket. Why is that? Because you have taken a brick and you have put the brick, or you're holding the brick inside the water. So, the brick displaces. That means it moves the water from its original position and takes the place of that water. So here the brick will displace water to make space for itself. The brick will occupy some space inside the bucket. So the water rises in the bucket. So now Archimedes' principle says that the upthrust is equal to the weight of water displaced by an object. Understood? The upthrust is equal to the weight of water displaced by any object when it is immersed in water. That is the Archimedes principle. So, any thing that floats or sinks, any object that floats and sinks in water will come across Archimedes' principle. What is it? What are the rules to be followed? What are the rules for floating and sinking according to Archimedes' principle? It is, if the weight of an object is more, if the weight of an object is more than the upthrust, then the object will sink in water. If the upthrust is more than the weight of the object will float in water. Understood? Yes. Why does a ship float? Usually, the ship is made up of iron, isn't it? And iron is very heavy and it has to sink inside the water, isn't it, children? But you might have seen the ship. It will float in water because of its shape. A ship made up of iron will float in water because of its shape, hollow shape. Almost like this triangle shape at the tips, isn't it, children? Yes. So when the ship is in water, the entire volume of the ship, including the hollow portion, will displace water to make space for itself. That is why the volume of water displaced will be much more than the volume of iron that is used to make the ship. So according to Archimedes' principle here, the upthrust is also very high, which will push the ship in the upward direction. That means the force inside the water will make or push the boat upwards. That is why the upthrust is very high, more than the weight of the ship. Therefore, the ship made up of iron will float in water. Weight in water. Already I explained you that if you take a brick in your hand, you can experience its weight. The same brick, if it is immersed inside the water, you feel the weight to be lighter than its actual weight, isn't it? So, weight of any object inside the water will be less than its actual weight. So we have to calculate the weight of an object in water will be equal to weight in air minus upthrust. So weight of an object in water is equal to weight in air minus weight of water displaced. So actual weight of the object in water is equal to weight in air, and you have to minus it with the weight of water displaced. That is known as the apparent weight. The weight of an object in water is called its apparent weight. When the object is inside the water, it is said that apparent loss in weight, because it will lose the object when it is inside the water will lose some of its weight. So that is said as apparent loss in weight. What to calculate? How to calculate the apparent loss in weight? So apparent loss in weight is equal to weight in air minus apparent weight. That will be equal to weight of water displaced. Therefore, when an object is immersed in water, it loses weight equal to the weight of the water displaced by it. Did you all understand the lesson, children? Hope everybody understood the lesson.